get some popcorn, get comfortable, and get ready for something out of this world. I posted videos about this scooter several years back, and finally this monster, this beast, it's in full production. And I have no words to describe this. This is beyond insane. You have to see this with your own eyes, and I hope you understand why this is $25,000, and I hope the builder gets at least 100 pieces, if not more orders, so the price comes down to $15,000, or I hope really less than that. So less lucky, get a chance to witness and test this creation. The scooter contains 1,700 parts. It takes a trained person to assemble, not fully built, just assemble. 3 weeks, guys, 3 full weeks of work. A lot of titanium, you need a high precision press to put pieces together, but the most important is the attention to detail. The constructions is just insane. The way it is designed, it will stand a car or even a truck going over the scooter. It is almost indestructible. Every single piece was meticulously crafted. The builder is a maniac when it comes to details. Just look at this video.
Hi, my name is Alexander Karelin. I apologize in advance, this is my first video in English. Okay, let's begin. Now we have started to master anodizing. The technology turned out to be more complicated than I thought. On parts with different size, it's difficult to catch the same shade. Here in front of us is partially assembled that has already been managed to match in shade. The next color will be like this. My phone can't convey the color as it is seen with the eyes, but these parts have different shades. So Vitaly asked me to show the scooter inside. Here I have laid out on the table almost all the main parts of which the scooter consists. These are titanium tubes 25x 2.5 mm. They are used as axles in the suspension and to reinforce critical areas. This is one of the 2 tubes that hold the front of the scooter. This is handlebar tubes. Front wheel disc. It uses 4 bearings. The disc itself consists of 2 parts that are connected via a sealing ring, which allows the use of a tubeless tire. Footboard. Nuclear controller. How much it can produce, no one knows exactly. I got 27.4 kilowatts. These are the gas and brake triggers, springs, bearings. Here it is assembled. Almost. Here we have steering wheel pads at the entry points of the wiring and hydraulic lines. This is the rear footrest, the platform itself, and the brake lights. Headlights. This is a radiator to which the LED is attached. The LED is quite powerful, so a fan is also installed at the back, and it is closed with a lid. Then a reflector is placed on the LED and curtain attached to the low beam headlight. Next, the lens is inserted and secured with a threaded ring. These are nuts of fastening the motor well axle and a set of stainless steel dropouts. Gear motor for the cooling system pump. The engine axis is connected to the pump axis with a coupling like this. And all this together is connected with an adapter like this. Steering damper. It consists of a pulley that is attached to the steering axle and a thing like this filled with thick oil. This flag transfers oil from one chamber to another, creating resistance to rotation. The small pulley is mounted on this flag and connected to the steering axle using a toothed belt. And this is our lower support of the steering column. The steering tubes are attached on this side. And this groove is for limited rotation. The polyamide insert prevents the destruction of the aluminum part. This is the top cover of the display housing. Here are these mechanical buttons with springs and sealing rings for tightness. This is the display board itself. And here is the lower part of the case. The handlebar itself consists of two halves that are attached to the display body through clamps like this. And these are the axles for connection. These are the radial thrust bearings of the steering bracket. Here is the steering bracket itself. These are ceramic balls and stainless steel springs of the gas and brake trigger buttons. Brake calipers. Rear 2 piston, front 4 piston. The pistons. Brake pads. It is clear that the front ones are larger than the back ones. This is what the part to which the front suspension is attached looks like. Steering axle. Is it pressed into this part? First the bearings are placed on the axle and then pressed in. Front wheel axle. I forgot to say that all axles are made of stainless steel. And here we have the engine. Motor wheel. This is what a stator with Cooper looks like. The winding is switched by such platform. aluminum bushings are inserted into the stator. Inside which the coolant circulates. And here is motor axis. Coolant inlet and outlet. And the rotor. Magnets are glued in the rotor. At first I used long magnets, 150 millimeters, but they are very difficult to glue into the rotor without breaking. That's why I use 2 by 75 millimeters magnets. This is front suspension pendulum. Front suspension bracket. And the front suspension and handlebar are filled on this part. Channel for wiring and hydraulic lines. The deck assembly. This is what the deck looks like inside. It is a radiator for the engine cooling liquid. The heated liquid enters the radiator, makes a full circle and drowns back to the engine. This is the front and rear fender. Here is the coolant expansion tank with the excess pressure relief valve. The expansion tank is mounted on the rear cover of the deck. I'll show you now everything assembled. Compartment with a pump. Here is the entrance to the desk. And somewhere there is an exit. Let's open the lid. The main space is occupied by battery. The battery consists of 3 parts to fit between the stiffening ribs. Here is the switching area to which the battery balancing connectors are connected. The plus from the battery goes to the contactor and then to the controller and all consumers. The negative from the battery goes to the BMS and then to the controller and consumers. And these are the controller radiator hoses. Now I'll turn the scooter off and on. You'll hear the contactor clicking. This scooter has a test BMS from Nuclear Electronics. It has a display like this. The BMS itself is somewhere inside, blinking its lights. Here you can see the consumer's control board. The headlights relay, pump relay and brake lights are connected to it. Now you can hear the relays working. Mounting platform for all electronics. All relays, DC-DC converter and BMS are mounted on one side and the controller on the other side. And then everything assembled is mounted in the scooter. The display connector, hall sensor and other consumers are connected. There are also connectors under the fuzz wires. And these wires come from the charging port. You can connect any power supply. The plus from the power supply will go to one of the vices and the minus will go to the controller. The controller uses the motor as an inductor to charge the battery. That's all. Thank you for your attention.